Welcome back to Phasmophobia. If you guys could like, comment, and or subscribe, I would appreciate it. Anything that you could do for the channel helps me put more back into the channel for you. That being said, today I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good mood, so you're getting a Friday video too. This one we're going to go and do ourselves a nice tier 1 starting items challenge on probably one of the houses. Starting items challenge. I don't know what my brain's doing. Single player. I'd never be able to convince other people to join me on one of those challenges. Dial this all back. I'll leave the amounts the same. I apparently need to enable and then disable. There we go. Starting item challenge only, and only getting one of each item. I feel like nightmares are good enough difficulty for this, and I feel like doing this on Ridgeview. I also don't generally have a light on me, so we're actually going to add the tier 2 headgear. This for you guys. Otherwise, I'll pretty much forget about it. How do I do this and make this work? Tier 2 headgear, add 1, enable. Did that do it? Oh, that did it. Let's do this. Ooh, that's already bad news. I have cold breath, it's snowing. Oh, it's gonna make finding the ghost room a, pun intended, nightmare. Incense, EMF, motion sensor, I can't get to it though, so we're not gonna worry about the objectives at all. I will be going under with the thermo. I already have the headgear on and now turned on. I'll also be taking the video cam, and I think I'll take the UV just for flimsies, because I feel like I get door touches pretty much immediately upon finding the ghost room, and then I spend like 10 minutes waiting for it to touch a door again. Well, no noise immediately. So courtesy of one Scott Silva 1447, I'm gonna try to talk more about the ghost, like my thought process behind finding the ghost, why I think it's one ghost, not another, kind of a deal. I do kind of get caught up in the moment sometimes. Did that not make it? It did not make it click. My brain was like, hey, something's wrong here. So yeah, I do kind of get caught up in the moment sometimes. And I do have an open mic right now, which I'm going to leave it open, because I've tried closing it before and talking, and I think that's what got me killed on the video last week or so. Guess I should be walking on the thermometer now. It's going to take the ghost room a while to get cold anyway. It starts at normal temperature and then goes down from there. Chicken bathtub and sink and all around the floor for the bone. Not necessary, but why not go for it if I can? I want to check something real quick. Nope, okay, going up. Both times I went into that room, it dropped it down a bit. I don't think we have a kitchen ghost this time. Maybe. Maybe. Well, if we do, it definitely doesn't have ghost orbs. I think it probably doesn't have ghost orbs. Thermo is still indecisive. That was definitely upstairs. We need to be careful about our sanity and trying to make sure we have hiding spaces, because we don't have any smudges. It just turned on a light somewhere. Oh, I guess there's a chicken here for the bone. Nope. Nope. Hiding space in there. No hiding space there. Works for me. Sounded like I touched a door. Music box. I did not even know the music box spawned up here. Or was it even considering cursed positions? Here is our ghost room. Ooh, yeah, look at that thermos drop. Alright, let's check for our... And since it... I'm trying to talk here, ghost. Since it touched a light switch, we know... Ooh, there's ghost orbs floating around. Since it touched a light switch, we know it is not a mirror. Mirrors cannot turn on light switches. We are going to be very, ultraviolet. And that handprint, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers should indicate it is an Obake. That combined with the ghost orbs and ultraviolet evidence definitely seem to suggest it. Mimic, however, is an option where it has ultraviolet, ghost orbs, spirit box, and freezing temps, but in the book, ghost orbs is not an evidence for a mimic. As you can see, it's marked up here and mimic is crossed out. So that is the next thing that we need to try to work on debunking, is whether or not it is a mimic. If I toss that there, by the way, I can just get that to line up perfectly. So that is all of my evidence items in there. The other evidence items for mimic is freezing temps and spirit box. We're going to go grab a spirit box. We'd also be able to figure this out if the ghost significantly changes behavior, either during hunts or all ghosts have special attributes and talents and abilities. So trying to keep an eye on those and monitoring changes is another good way to hunt down the ghost. On nightmare difficulty, you do only get 2 evidence, so if we end up getting any third piece of evidence, then we're also going to know that it is a mimic. The nice part is, up front, it gave us the 2 hard guaranteed evidences, which is ghost orbs, because I think as soon as you open the door to the map, ghost orbs spawn, and they're going to be in whatever room is the ghost's favorite room for the entire time it's the ghost's favorite room. When it changes that, the ghost orbs will move. And ultraviolet is an evidence, except for the Obake. The Obake has the ability, or one of his attributes anyway, where it's like a 20-something% chance, maybe 25% chance of just not leaving ultraviolet as an evidence. So you might have a door get touched, check it, no ultraviolet, gets touched again, you check it, and now it does have ultraviolet. You pretty much have either got the mimic. No. Yeah, you pretty much have either the mimic or the Obake. That makes sense. I was thinking if you had 0 evidence, and it might just be the mimic, but 0 evidence won't be the mimic. The mimic will have evidence on 0 evidence, and it'll have ghost orbs, which is very important for the challenge mode currently going on this week, I think, which is basically no evidence, no sanity. Anybody who's watched this channel a long time knows that's basically my go-to. Hi, ghost event. I do want to maintain my... technically it touched us. I was saying, I do want to try to maintain my sanity. I have hiding right there, so that is something. It's not much, but it's something. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? And we will double check with ghost orbs just to verify. Yep, this is still the ghost room. So I think this is straight up an Obake. There's nothing else to really do about it. We'll just go downstairs, go out to the van, and pretty much leave. Didn't end up finding the bone. Sometimes the bone, I feel like it falls to the floor or something. I'll show you in the after action report where you can look at where the bone location actually was, and I've seen it numerous times. The spot, it'll say it was in the spot that I definitely checked over half a dozen times. Because I like to go for perfect investigation bonus on Nightmare and higher and get a lot more money for doing so. Didn't work that yet. Could have got money for the objective too. Could have just took the EMF in there and when it kicked that ball. Oh, Bake. Would have got money for it. And that was a very quick and easy $900. After action report, right. What do I want? Detailed statistics. So there's player stuff, like how long you were in the place, or what is it, phrases recognized on the spirit box. So basically, how many spirit box responses did you get? Total sanity loss was only 33%. Total sanity gain was 0 because it never took any meds because it didn't have any meds. It has information on the ghost and everything that it does, including abilities used, which that one ability was the handprint on the door. Bone location was in the basement, so we never even went down there. So we're going to dial it up now. Insanity, you only get 1 evidence unless the ghost is a mimic. I also feel like we're doing this one on Edgefield. As we can. Pretty much the same thing. We'll get right into it. What do we got for objectives? Ghost photo can't do, escape the ghost during the hunt, might be able to do, and EMF. So technically we could get 2 of those. One of them is likely... Oh god, my game froze. There we go. One of them is likely to kill us. Let's see, grab pretty much the same trio of items, and let's get in there. Get in there, get the breaker on so the house starts warming up so we can actually find the ghost room. Give me that key, because if that car starts going off, it's going to be annoying as hell. Actually, don't have to worry about the temperature too much on this one, but I want to get the breaker... Damn, the breaker's in the basement. I want to get the breaker turned on just so I can stave off my sanity drain. Also takes about not a minute, but at least a few seconds for the house or the ghost room to start cooling down. Any hiding? There's some hiding. You would be dead if we ever have to use it. Haven't heard anything yet. Nothing's been thrown. You're doing this quick enough. You don't even have to wait for the ghost to hunt. Oh, also an insanity. There's no cursed possession. Worth mentioning. Checking the temps. So far, everything seems decent. Oh, there's a light on up here. Is it the hallway or is it the bathroom? I feel like if it's going to be anything, it's going to be the hallway. No, it's the bathroom itself. That is beautiful, because if it's the hallway, the ghost really loves to roam. We're going to go ahead and turn this off, turn that off. Check again for our ghost orbs. They are a nice evidence to get, because again, they are one of the few guaranteed. We'll also check the hallway just to be sure. Damn, that would have been nice. Temperatures are still dropping. Touch this door. No ultraviolet. And unfortunately on Nightmare and Insanity, you can't mark off evidence. Yeah, that doesn't help me. It's actually just annoying ghost. Decently active ghost, especially with me in the room. That's going to mean that it's not a shade. Shades are a hiding kind of ghost. So when you're in the room with the ghost, they tend to lock up more or less. They don't do much for you. We're going to take this, this, and this. The writing book's a good item to get in there soon. That way the ghost has the largest amount of time to interact with it. Whether it's throwing it so to tell you that it's not ghost writing, or writing in it to tell you that it is. Gonna toss that in here. We're gonna check our spirit box. Are you here? Are you friendly? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Okay, not entirely sure that the ghost is still in here. It's getting decently colder. Probably is just going to take a little bit for the ghost to cool down that room enough. Nice straight shot in and out of the door. In this last hall, we're going to grab our last evidence item, which is going to be dots and a nightmare if we actually have to use this to get the ghost. Need to try to set up our dots and our video cam appropriately. Trying to set this up in mind of getting a Goryo. We'll get into that one here in a second as well. I think this is probably decent. Covers a decent area. So there are some ghosts that only have one evidence. Or not one evidence, sorry. There's some ghosts that have one required evidence. It's not all of them. There's only a few actually. And that is the Obake requires ultraviolet. So in Insanity, where you're having hold on a second. On Insanity, where you are having only one evidence that you can go for. Okay, still good. We have anything good in here? Ooh, it's been turning on this light too. Interesting. Trying to think straight. On Insanity, where you're only going to get one evidence, the one required evidence is going to be that evidence. So for oh, it's in the hallway now, isn't it? Nope, just roaming. I can live with that. We're going to keep checking for ultraviolet, make sure we don't have back-to-back Obakes. Ah, I can speak. On Insanity, where you're only going to get one evidence, the required evidence will be that one. So, for Hantu, you will have freezing. For Obake, you will have ultraviolet. For, I think, Diogen and Moroi, you will get spirit box. And those are pretty much the ones, well, and Mimic, you'll have ghost orbs, which isn't technically an evidence, so you'll have one additional evidence on top of that. So, you got to keep those in mind. For instance, on this game, if we had ultraviolet, we would be considering if it is an Obake, surely because of the fact that it has that required evidence. I guess I do need to go grab the thermal and check these side rooms. So ghost orbs and dots seem unlikely. EMF 5 is possible. Got decently cold in there. How about here? Turned on the radio in the other bedroom. Turned it on and off. Definitely still in the bathroom, so it's just roaming a lot. I could live with that. Oh, I forgot one. Nope, we're dead, man. Was that the end of the hunt, or was that whole thing just a ghost event? Either way, I'm incredibly lucky, and the breaker got... Nope, breaker's on. I don't know why that ghost hunted. No, that door locked. That was a hunt. What? So I got incredibly lucky there. If I had just given up and not moved at the last second, I would be dead. And we got the objective because of it. Holy shit, that was close. Okay. Goryo has a required evidence, which is dots, and that's actually a hard one because for Goryo dots, you don't get to see it in person like I am now. You have to see it either on the computer screen or on the video camera screen. You will never see them physically in person in the game. Hoorah! I feel like that ghost never really sped up. It had line of sight on me for a short while, but not a lot of it. I'm not entirely sure. It did definitely throw some stuff around. That pile of shoes is a pretty good indication it's not likely going to be a poltergeist, but I'll pile them up here anyway, as we'll see on the next hunt. Wow. Yep. I was not expecting that hunt. I don't know why it did hunt. I feel like I was in the light too much for my sanity to be that drained. Hunting again already. Need to turn off the breaker just for Hantu. You'll see me flicking a light switch even if I know the breaker's off or broken. That is to test if it is hunting. Whether, no matter the case with the power state of the house, yeah, it's not a poltergeist. I need to check if there's hiding spots up here. Not many good ones. No good ones. We'd have to call this a hiding spot. Gotta cheat a little bit here. There we go. Now if I take a look at this, it doesn't pick up any sound, and that is perfect. So same speed as last time. There we go. Got powered on electronics up here. Raiju will speed up near those, and in this case it has not. Cold breath, temperature rising. So where does this have cold breath? Did I hear, or was it in the room? It's in the room. It's not written in the book. I gotta go. If you don't smudge the ghost, then it's not a demon. You only have 25 seconds between hunts. If it is a demon, you only have 20 seconds between hunts. If you do smudge the ghost, it has a minute and a half between hunts. And if it's a demon, then you have... Ghost doesn't spit up at all. If it's a demon, then you have only a minute between hunts. And if it's a spirit, then you have 3 minutes between hunts. That's a fun one to work with. Unfortunately, in this case, we don't have any smudges, because then I try to test line of sight, speed up, and that kind of thing with the ghost. That is the end of the hunt. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? It also seems to be hunting from the same spot and seems to be a moderately slower than normal base speed. Which for me, that tends to mean Goryo. And Goryo are very not forthcoming with their dots information. Unfortunately, that means you either have to be next to the ghost room with the video cam just staring, or in the van with the video cam just staring, and neither of those are particularly good. Or at least they're not options I want to go for. We haven't gotten ghost writing yet, which, if you recall somewhat of what I was saying before, the ghost has to interact with the book in order for you to get ghost writing. So you're either going to get ghost writing or you're going to get the book thrown. If the book is still laying perfectly flat where you placed it, try moving some items away from the room, so when it does decide to interact, it has to interact with the book. You might still touch a door or a light switch or a window, or in my case also a sink and a bathtub. But you got some options anyway. Also from here we'd be able to see the book rise up as it writes in it. We can also see if it does dots, and if ghost orbs somehow end up coming into the picture, we would be able to see that as well. So far, none of that seems to be to play, so it's either going to be EMF 5, or it's going to be Goryo dots. It could be freezing, but I don't think so. It's been too long. The ghost has been active enough. I feel like if it was going to be freezing in that room, then it would have been so the last time I checked a thermal. Goryo, their special ability, more or less, or their attribute, this is one I would rather go with on that one, is that they will not change their favorite ghost room. If you use a cursed possession that forces them to change their ghost room, then they will. Like, if you're asking, what is it? Let me think. I think it's the monkey paw. Where are you? Or lock the ghost in. Whatever the wish is for that. I don't really use it. It'll lock the door to the ghost room and lock the ghost in the ghost room. Threw that pretty hard. Couldn't tell what it was. But, afterwards, it'll force the ghost to change favorite rooms. It will still do that with a Goryo, so that could throw you off. Ghost is apparently in the room if it's throwing stuff around up there. If I were to go up there and sit there, I'd only get like 25 seconds at a time, which would really only be 20 seconds at a time, because I got to spend those 5 extra seconds running away to non-existent hiding spaces. As you saw, my only real one I had was in the basement. Goryo is also kind of the ghost that I go with when I don't know what else to go with, so that's another thing. I feel like it's bizarre that my sanity drained as quick as it did. The ghost also seems to be interacting with an uncharacteristic amount of items for Goryo, but I can't see it being anything else. I have a more risky hiding spot on the base floor I think I'm going to go try. Let's see how that goes. expecting as soon as I turn away is when we're actually gonna get dots. Also expecting it to hunt immediately. Yeah, this is just basically sitting up here as close as it is. This isn't really a hiding spot, but as the ghost doesn't wander in a visible area here, which it's not likely to, then it won't get you. There's another one like this over in the mudroom. Throwing some stuff, but not enough. Definitely hunted from the same location again. There we go. We'll get ourselves our 20 seconds. And when we're away from the ghost room, we have this. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Check thermos, definitely not. Through the writing book, that's what we saw. If I can make it, we're gonna go to that hiding spot I was talking about in the mudroom. A little bit better odds here. That's why. I think when I do push to drop an official once, it just leaves it on all the time. I didn't realize that was a thing. If I apply and then I do that and come back, then it turns it off. That's why I died that one time too. I got Goryo selected, so let's go with it. Jinn. I did not equip to handle Jinn. The Jinn test is, I could demonstrate that better with some props actually. Can't reach those from here because reasons. Alright, we're gonna show off the Jinn test here. So say I am over here and the ghost is, yeah, well, we'll say here or further, preferably further. Yeah, that seems about the right distance. If the breaker is powered on and the Jinn is there or further away, then you'll hear it speed up as though the ghost suddenly pressed shift. And the footprints will essentially, or the footsteps will sound like that too. They'll go and then once it gets to about that close, it will slow back down to normal, aside from the fact that I think it builds line of sight during the entire time, so it'll have line of sight speed that it's already accumulated. So if you kind of overlap this in your brain from where I was on Edgefield, then that hallway, basically it would have to come down the stairs. I would have to be in the mudroom. I'd be able to hear it speed up with the breaker powered on. And then I'd be able to know it's a Jinn. Also, that explains why our sanity got drained as quick as it did when the breaker is powered on. The Jinn's ability to turn off the breaker, like all other ghosts, is changed. When it tries to turn off the breaker, it starts draining players' sanity, not exponentially quicker, but it definitely ups the sanity drain. And it does it whether, I think it's whether you're in a lit room or not. Not positive on that one. So that's why even though we were in a lit room most of the time just trying to get our one piece of evidence, the ghost still came for us. Now, you guys like longer videos, so we're just going to do this or do another one of these. And I don't like losing, so we're going to do it on Insanity again. Crucifix, Cleanse, and Ghost Photo. We can't do any of those objectives. That's wonderful. Grab our ye old trio. Let's try it this time on good old Tanglewood. The starting house of starting houses. Generally cooler already. Definitely sounded like one of these. We have ultraviolet for our one and only evidence. Well, that definitely speeds things along. We're only going to get ultraviolet so we can get out of here and mark that down. That's why I love ultraviolet and ghost orbs. They are a hardcore evidence, hard-coded rather, at least in my brain. It's also a decent amount of ghosts, because if you remember, this guy, Hantu, has to have freezing temps when you only have one evidence. This guy, Goryo, has to have dots when you only have one evidence. I think Jin is EMF 5 required, but I'm not positive, so we're going to leave it there. I do need to check for ghost orbs still, because the Mimic will have ghost orbs and another evidence, which it'll be Spirit Box, Freezing, or Ultraviolet. It's the only other one in this selection that has a hard-coded evidence. Let's go grab pretty much just the flashlight, right? Because I'll talk about the myelin test a little bit here. Well, that's pretty much the only other thing I can test for. No, it's not. I'll talk about possible Jin tests that I'm not clear on, but I know enough about to probably get you in the right direction. So, for the Jin test, we're going to go find ourselves a breaker. We are not very lucky. Hi, I'm going to collect this bone. I don't know why they added audio to this. The flickering is more than enough. Oh, that didn't work. That worked well enough. Alright, so for the Jin test, you have the breaker powered on. You put a turned on EMF meter right there. And if the EMF gets to, like, I think it's level 2, that's the Jin trying to use its ability. Which it's hard to see with this EMF, but for a tier 2 or tier 3 EMF, that'll work just fine. Now we're going to come up here and talk about the myelin test. This ghost seems to be pretty stuck in that room. So for the myelin test, you take a powered on flashlight, you put it pretty much like right there, and you would hide over here outside of the view of the ghost, but you can still see the light of the flashlight. And this is about, you know, parallel with you, or perpendicular with you and the ghost rather. So when the ghost starts hunting, and you have all the lights flashing, but the flashlight light is not flashing, and what is it? If the flashlight light is not flashing and you do hear footsteps, then it's not a myelin. And the inverse of that is true, which is kind of rare. So if the flashlight light is flashing, or it'll start flashing when you hear the footsteps. That's kind of the condition for it. And that's when you know you have a myelin. Myelin's basically just generally a quieter ghost, but it's not always that simple on some of these maps. So we're going to check around for ghost orbs in case we have a Mimic. This ghost is very throw happy. It's not anything really worth noting, but I do believe Poltergeist is a potential option. So no ghost orbs, that works for me. Definitely getting cold in that room, don't really care. We are going to set up a polter test. So we're going to expect the ghost to run through this area at least once, preferably a couple times. And now I'll talk about the poltergeist. We're all going to learn about as much as I know about most of these ghosts. Main difference is I play this game often enough to remember. And we need to not make the same mistake as before, because I don't think I'm going to get as lucky as I did before. Especially since I don't have any actual hiding spots planned. Oof. Yeah, no good hiding spots anyway. Let me secure one real quick. It's not going well. There's a hiding spot. Alright. I also have a lot of lights turned on, which doesn't really mean much, but it could. I'm gonna grab... Oh, I thought there for a second. I really thought there for a second. I was like, oh no. And we're gonna double check this and go over here to audio. Nothing's moving, so we should be good. Alright. That means we can talk during the hunt. So, speaking of, I'm gonna home over here just in case. So the poltergeist, its ability, or attribute more or less, is when it is hunting. I could just threw something in my pile. When it is hunting, it will throw something every half or quarter of a second. Whereas when a normal ghost is hunting, it can throw something every half or 1 second. I think there's a bit of overlap in there. Of about, you know, right on the half-second mark. So the poltergeist is going to throw basically twice as much as any normal ghost. And normal ghosts can mimic a poltergeist throwing. I've seen people have spirits that look like poltergeists because they were throwing so much, but in fact it was just by chance of the game throwing as often as it could because it wanted to. So if it runs over that pile like twice and it's hardly disturbed, it's not a poltergeist. If it runs over that pile like once or twice and it's very disturbed, it's likely a poltergeist. So it's not really a definitive, but unless I'm incredibly unlucky, it's a decent definitive that I'm gonna go with. So at this point, there's not much else that I could really test for it. Demons can hunt whenever the hell they want to. That's their ability. Banshees will often teleport to me, and they like to do singing ghost events. Obakes will shapeshift during the hunt, and I'm not talking going from crawling to standing. I'm talking going from the child to the giant burnt demon guy to the grandma to the dude with the sickle. That kind of shapeshifting. Mylines are just quiet. Been over Jinn, pretty much everything I know about it. Phantoms are hard to see. The way I describe the difference between phantom, normal ghost, and Oni is a phantom will blink into existence, but most of the time they're out of it. Normal ghosts are 50-50, and Oni is in existence and like a quarter of the time blinks out of it. So if you can see the ghost really well, it's an Oni. If you can't see the ghost hardly at all, it's a phantom. And if you only have somewhat of a hard time seeing the ghost, it's normal blink. Poltergeist like to throw stuff more often, and that's basically it. Oh, and Poltergeist also has the ability to do a burst throw, and they generally also throw harder and faster when they're hunting. I think that's everything I know. So we're gonna go turn this light off. We're gonna let our sanity drain. I'm gonna do the myelin test and hopefully live. If you're crouched down here, even if you have powered on electronics and stuff, the ghost, even if it's an adult model, can't really see you as long as you hug the counter. And you can actually lose the ghost here if it's hot on your tail. But more importantly, you could loop it around here just to listen to the ghost, or you could put your Polty pile on top of this counter. I would do that, but no smudges makes that kind of a death trap. Actually going to bring this over here too. Yeah, so it's as far away from where the ghost is likely to start hunting as possible. Now we let our sanity drain, and that's basically it. We gotta listen out for those ghosts. Jinn, we're probably not really going to be able to test for. Phantom, I mean, I'm not really in a position to see the ghost, so Phantom and Obake are kind of maybe the third or fourth hunt. Right now, I'm mainly going to be testing for Polter and Myelin. Maybe the Jinn, if I can time the end of the hunt. If it's like in the hallway over there, I'll go over here. That way I have this big line of sight area, and I'll press my push to talk button. That'll alert the ghost. It'll come towards me. About there, it should start speeding up, and I might be able to crouch over here and start looping it before the end of the hunt, if I time it perfectly. Very risky thing to do. Did this a lot at the beginning of, I think it was my tier 2. I did a whole series of challenges, and I did those on Camp Woodwind to level up quickly. And I mainly did those around the campfire, so the ghost could see me the whole time, and it had line of sight. It did speed up, but it kept getting stuck on the logs all around. I hope I'm explaining all of this to a decent level. I'm not generally... Here we go. Should verify, yep, push to talk silenced. Ooh, this could be Myelin. Very quiet, and it's in like the living room. Can't even hear the footsteps. Can only really hear them when it's coming in. I think this is a Myelin. We'll check the Polty pile after this, but yeah, Polty pile is hardly disturbed. I'm gonna go for Myelin on this one. That should be a perfect example of it. It's so quiet, even when it's in the room right next to you. I think you could hear it throwing those plates, but you could barely hear the ghost. And that's all we're really gonna be able to do on this. We can't get any objectives. We actually did collect the bone. If that wasn't a Myelin, then the game sucks. But, drumroll please, that was a Myelin. I think my game audio is decent during recordings, that you should be able to pick up on that. I've watched other people and it's not always the easiest to hear. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Maybe you guys can tell me something down in the comments, especially if I got something wrong. By God, tell me and put it in the comments. That way other people can see it and correct my misinformation, more or less. If you could like, comment, and or subscribe, I would appreciate it, because anything that you can do for the channel helps me put more back into the channel for you. So it becomes a nice little rinse and repeat cycle, and things just kind of spiral out of control in terms of getting better. All that being said, I'll see you next time. This is a Friday video, so tomorrow you guys get Metroid. I know, like, only 2 of you watch it regularly, so, you know, sucks that, you know, my awesome viewers don't enjoy Metroid, but I enjoy playing the game, so you're gonna get that for Saturday videos for until, like, I don't know, the end of November. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.